Hello, this is going to be Topo 2, which is Topo Profiling. Gradient, which I'll show you guys later on, that'll be Topo 3. But this is going to be taking a topographic profile of a topographic map, turning a two-dimensional, three-dimensional representation into a sort of a profile, a side view, where you can sort of see, if you remember the rules of a contour lines, closed or small circles are higher elevation. Smaller closed circles, higher elevation. It actually goes uphill to that point, then it goes downhill, and then it goes uphill, relatively flat, goes downhill. You can see it's gently sloping there because the lines are wide. Doesn't really have any index contours. They're all sort of intermediate contours. They all have their lines on there, their numbers on there, their values on there to make it easier. But basically what we do is we do these three rules. I'm going to pick red. First thing we do is we pencil in a line of interest. Okay, now I'm going to make my flow rate relatively low, and I'm just going to say this is the line that I want to try to show. And they already have it drawn. I'm trying to draw a straight line. Doesn't work really well. Next thing, take a blank piece of paper, just like the edge of a paper, which is right there, slide it up along this line. And the first thing we do is we mark the edges. Now they should have actually marked that edge right there. I'm going to make my flow rate a little larger so I can actually make solid lines. They did do the A side right there, but they didn't really do the A prime side. This is A and this is A prime. It's the same line, so they just wanted to make like a left side and a right side. Okay, so first thing you do is you try to figure out the estimation of the depth of that point right there where it comes onto the map and that point right there where it goes off the map. I'm going to do this side first. If you can see right here the contour interval, first thing you should do when you look at a contour map is 10 feet. Every one of these things doesn't really say feet, but we're going to assume these are feet. And they would say down here contour interval 10 feet. And as soon as the key says that, then we can say these are 10 feet. Now, there's no other line on here. The 100 line is over here somewhere. I'm going to assume that the line is closer to 100, although you don't have to say that, than it is to the 110. So I'm going to say this point right here is like 102. Okay, now, what's the correct value? Anything can't be 110, can't be 100 because there'd be a line. So anything between 109 and 101 works. I'm going to say 102 just because I think it's closer to the 100. Just like this one, you can see we have the 160, 150, there's 140. It looks like the 140 probably is over here. It's probably closer to 140 than it is to 150. I'm going to say this number right here is 1, actually I write it that way. Yeah. Let me get rid of those because it can't be a 0. I'm going to say it's probably like 142. So 2, 4, 1. So it starts out at 142, ends up at 102. What does it do in between? The next thing we do on both the blank paper and the map, mark clearly the starting and ending points, which we did. Below these marks, write down the elevation of the 2 points. We did. Make a tick mark wherever the contour line crosses. You want to make larger tick marks on the index contours, but we don't have them. And then we want to write the elevation of the index contours below the tick marks on your paper, as well as intermediates to help you out, and that's what they did on here. So they slid the paper up and they made a mark there, and I said it's 142. They made a mark there, they wrote 150, then two 160s, 150, 140, 130, another 130. They did it all the way across. Now the next thing you should probably do is try to imagine if you got two 160s, what the heck does the elevation do there? And this elevation actually goes up. So I know I want to go up from those points. And this 130, the elevation goes down. We know it doesn't go up to 170 because it just doesn't go up that high. We also know it doesn't go below 130. Now they kind of messed up. When they set up their graph, they made 160 up there. This thing really goes above 160 and goes back down. They should have actually made 160 this line so they can show that. They actually had room to do it because no elevation goes down to, they're actually saying it goes down below. Their numbers are off. This should be 110. This should be 100, and it goes down below, so theoretically it goes like there and off the map. Doesn't really get down to the 100. Okay, I'm going to show you a website that will actually show this. This site is actually, well, it's a big long. It actually is www.uwsp.edu/geo/faculty/ritter/geo101/textbook/manual/instructor_2. And I'm going to get that phone. I'll be back with you. That call was a funeral insurance plan. Like I need one of those. Anyway, how_to/topo_profiles.swf. Okay, so first thing to do is they're showing you a map, and we're going to go ahead and click to start the lesson. The first thing they do is they said that they drew a line across there. They put the paper on there. We're going to start making our marks on. So they're going to make a tick mark. That's an index contour. They're going to write the elevation on it. There's another intermediate, another one, contour interval is 10 feet. There's a 1040, here's another 1040, and then they finished all the way through. Okay, now we're going to remove the map and we're going to place this on the edge of a sheet of graph paper. We want to actually see that our lowest elevation is 1,000. We want to go, if you remember graphing, we want to go a little bit lower than that, so we're going to go to like 990, and our highest elevation is 1,040. We want to go probably one contour above that, 1,050. Okay, next they're going to use a Y scale. The scale of horizontal was 1 to 24,000. 1 inch on the map is 24,000 inches. So 1 inch on the map also equals 2,000 feet of up and down. So let's go over and let's do that. There's 1 inch. They're going to draw 1,000, and they're going to draw 2,000, and we're going to see if this works. So now they're going to draw this line, and the question is, does that really show you what you want to see? And the answer is no. So we're going to pick a different scale. Now we're going to say maybe twice the exaggeration. So now we're going to actually say 2 inches is now 2,000 feet. So now we're going to plot that. Does that look the way it's supposed to look? That's a much better view of what it is, but I would really like to see it even better than that. Okay, but what they did is they didn't go all the way to the edge, which they should have. They should have had a 990 and almost to a 980, and on this side they should have been able to go even farther. So there's a 990, 980, 970. They actually did go a little bit above at that point right there, which they should have, because that's the highest point. 1040. 10,400, they actually went up to 10.5, which they shouldn't have done. So I'll show you this stuff in class before we do our project. Thank you much. Bye.